Good morning, viewer. I am so glad you made it to this update because, well, we're going to cover the weather today. And we all know if you're subscribed to this channel, you love the weather. So we're going to start off with our NOAA's 8 to 14 day temperature outlook to get you started slow and then cook you up like a frog in a boiling pan till I sneak attack you with my winter hint. Here's our July 2nd through 8th temperatures. That stays 8 to 14, and that was released yesterday, but that's also much hotter than it was 3 days ago. So this is unexpected weather. Day 6 through 10, June 30th through July 4th, very hot, concentrated in Cleveland and Detroit, Indianapolis, Chicago, and that's mainly the story there. Let's get an analog for today. 1998. What do you know? Are you surprised? I'm not really surprised. Okay. So again, we have 1998 as an analog year. Like that's like our preeminent or sorry, our dominant theme of an analog. So that's a winter we're gonna have to I might definitely use come late summer to fall for my winter forecast this year. So we'll get into that when the time comes. But in the meantime, let's take a look at our NAO. And again, positive NAO, which is why we're seeing it so hot and dry in the east. If you want to take a look at our drought monitor, because there's something I want to say about this. So here's our current USA drought monitor, and see all that drought in the west? That's going to shift east considerably as we head into the next few months, the next 30 to 60 days. I'm pretty certain of that because we're going to see a ton of heat develop in Texas along with dry air. In fact, let's check that out and see if that verifies off the latest run on the European European weeklies. First of all, let's do our winter little hint. Again, we have some snow here. Again, this is yesterday's forecast. So, again, a lot of heat, but this is the key here. The key is the lack of precip in the next 45 days, the dry air that's forecasted along this area in the central part of the USA. I don't like the looks of that. It's a lot of dry air. It's tremendously intense dry air. I suspect wildfires will pop up in these areas in the next 60 days. I do want to take a look at our Jamstack, and this will be our winter hint for today. And again, this winter, the word I'm using to describe this winter is it's an enigma of a winter. And I think it's pretty apropos with all the weird factors collaborating together that we're going to see this winter. So, all right, here's our December through February sea surface anomalies temperatures based off of June, our latest run. This is our ensemble package. In other words, all of the separate members together in an averaged amount. And you can just see how I'm a little bit perplexed as to why Jamstack is calling this a Modiki El Nino, because it seems like the warmest of the waters are in the eastern, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is the central, but the point is it looks very unique, which is why, again, I'm calling this an enigma of winter. Also because we're forecasted with this super El Nino occurring a lot of cold air in the whole of the country, basically. You know, at first I thought this was the southeast, you know, looking at it, but when I look at it, it extends all the way till it's pushing the warm air nearly out of the northwest, out of Washington State, and it's all the way up into Cleveland, Ohio. This is a very cold winter. It's not just your typical El Nino where it shunts the cold air down southeast and south and southwest. Last, I want to take a look at our typical El Nino strong. Now let's take a look at our typical super El Nino winter patterns, and we'll just kind of look at this. So ironically, the Weather Channel is all over this all the way back in April 17th of this year. And I don't want the video, don't blare me with noise, please, computer. Okay, so here is our Super El Nino temperature forecast for let's see, I'm just trying to see if this is what. Oh, hold on, wait, I'm reading something. No, my apologies. So, okay, perfect. It says winter temperatures. So here's the El Nino effects on winter temperatures. Across the lower 48, the jet stream during the winter months is strongest over the southern U.S., often roasting the northern plains, Midwest, and Northeast. This can reduce the amount of snowfall that the Great Lakes and Northern Rockies can see. From the southwest to the southeast, an amplified storm track and active jet stream often reduce winter temperatures while bringing heavier rain from California to Florida and an increase in severe weather for the southeast. So here is our temperatures for a super El Nino. And again, must stay forecasted cold for a lot of these areas. Could it be the mode that's doing that? It's quite possible, but it's very unique and distinct. And then it goes into the different states, honing in on each one of them kind of a little bit closer. But yeah, so we are headed towards a super El Nino for this winter. So with that being said, you just saw the Weather Channel say how a super El Nino tends to be warm across, not only warm across the entire USA, but especially across the northern plains, the very areas I'm predicting a cold winter this year. So we have a battle going on in the models. We have a battle going on in the forecast. I guess time will tell who the winner will be. But how can you win when we have this awesome, fascinating thing called the weather? And I think we should all love the weather and enjoy it, and look forward to the weather upcoming ahead in the future together. So that is it. That's all I have for you guys right now. Make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, share, comment if you can. And again, this is Tyler's World of Weather. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy your Thursday. Take care.